We're going to be doing a tutorial on a Holley 5200 carburetor. As you see, it's your simple 2-port carburetor, 2-barrel, fuel-injected carburetor. As you see, we're going to start it here. This is just simple things. This is your throttle right here. As you see, the throttle. And then inside here, you have your ports. When you first put this on a car, if you're rebuilding a carburetor, you spray gas in the ports because that's where it mixes, goes into the intake, which I could show you in a second. This is the intake. The carburetor mounts right onto this intake, like that. And then 4 studs will go right here, so the carburetor doesn't get loose for it. Next, you would have fuel. Next, you would have emissions options, which would go right here. It's called the PCV valve, and make sure any non-spent fuel goes back into this valve, goes back in the carburetor, and it's used. Now, inside the carburetor, you have a few parts. You have parts like the economizer. Let me go grab the rebuild kit. You have the economizer for the carburetor. What the economizer does is make sure that that fuel balance is level inside of the vehicle. And we're going to show you some typical parts inside the carburetor. This would be your factory gasket. It goes in between the carburetor and the center balance. Your full assembly carburetor goes right in here and gives out gas. Your turner goes right into this assembly, and they also have 2 versions of this model. And if I get it, it's in here. They have that, the electric fuel suppression, or they also have dual line. Plug it in there, and this is for older model carburetors. Inside the carburetor, you would have these parts. You'd have the fuel float, and those things there, and open that port right there to let gas into it. And then you have your economizer. It comes in this version, and it also comes in. Grab the part out of the box. Also comes in this version. This is more spring, better operational, and it always has the gasket at the bottom. Now, the main body. The fuel goes in there. You have all your parts in there, except this one's seized up because it's pretty old. It's seized up. That would go down. Needle. Make sure your fuel's okay. And at the bottom of this carburetor, you have the 2 ports. Those connected to the main spacer. And go right into the intake. Those are the intake chambers. And that's about it for your basic carburetor. Thank you for watching.